Hey there, interwebs, and welcome back to How Fascinating, where today's episode will be all about hidden gems. No, you're not suffering from deja vu, we have visited this topic before. I'm returning to it now because I have more to say on the subject, and it dovetails nicely with this month's other video. Be forewarned, I may repeat some of the details which I first mentioned in the previous episode, but in an effort to keep things fascinating, I've included a secret twist which I will reveal at the end. In episode 41, I said that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a short story called The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, and I speculated that he knew carbuncles are gemstones, but not the specifics about their red coloration. Having reread the story since then, I now have a different theory, and I am on dubious footing here, but I think it works out better in the long run. At one point, Holmes comments that the titular stone is blue in shade instead of ruby red, indicating that he is aware of carbuncle's usual coloration. This seems to imply that Doyle was using carbuncle and ruby as synonyms, and that this blue carbuncle is actually a sapphire. You may recall that both rubies and sapphires are aluminum oxide, Al2O3, and the only chemical differences are the impurities which cause their distinguishing colors. Speaking of sapphires, their name comes from the Old French word saphir and the Latin word sapphirus before that. The Latin word was derived from the ancient Greek saphiros, meaning blue stone, but the gem referred to by that name probably wasn't sapphire. It could have been opal, although this is unlikely, and interestingly, opal is not technically considered a mineral. It's only a mineraloid due to its high water content and amorphous structure. It's more plausible that saphiros referred to lapis lazuli, which itself literally means stone, half-stop, azure. There's also similar historical confusion surrounding topaz, whose name comes from the Greek word topazion, but which probably referred to chrysoberyl or olivine. And, just like how amethyst was once thought to protect people from drunkenness, topaz was thought to guard against lunacy. If you think that either name referred to a different gem and have credible sources to back that up, I'd love to hear about it, so take to the comments section, dear viewer, and name thy stone. Modern sapphires would have perhaps been signified by the word hyacinthos. That word, by the way, is where the flowers called hyacinths get their name. The blue stones known as sapphires also lent their name to the ancient Greek poet Sappho of Lesbos, and she's where we get the modern words sapphic and lesbian, both referring to romantic or sexual attraction between women and well known amongst the more deviant and vulgar netizens. Perhaps then the Labrys lesbian pride flag should alter that purple hue in recognition of the eponymous blue gems. That being said, we established in the previous gemological episode that sapphires don't have to be blue. They also come in green, yellow, orange, pink, and purple, but not red, which is reserved for rubies. So while carbuncles have to be red and sapphires can be any other color, emeralds can occasionally be red. Sort of. Generally, they're a dark green form of beryl, which is why red beryl is also known as red emerald. Some argue that red beryl doesn't count as real emerald, but I won't stoop to such pedantic snobbery like that. If an emerald or beryl skews more yellow, it's known as heliodor, and if it skews more blue, it's called aquamarine. One gemstone which doesn't come in multiple colors is this one. In the ephemeral days of my youth, I called it peridote, but apparently it has two standard pronunciations, and that's neither of them. One is peridot, with a long O but a silent T, and the other is peridot, with a hard T but a short O. I guess my pronunciation was just a mix and match of both. Although the name comes from Old French, where the T would be silent, it's hard to say decisively which pronunciation is more correct, because I am bereft of its etymology. Oh well. Despite ostensibly only coming in green, the exact shade and hue is dependent upon its iron content, which is why these samples are so pale as to be nearly yellow. Diamonds, meanwhile, can occupy just about any spot of our Technicolor spectrum. This range of diamond colors, for example, is called champagne, but I'd call the darker ones amber, and the lighter shades beige or ecru. Amber itself, however, also comes in a variety of shades, as seen here, and it even comes in blue, which is only found in the Dominican Republic. It's also one of the few organically produced gemstones, like pearl, being fossilized tree resin. Ecru, by the way, is the color of raw linen and comes from the French word for unbleached. Talk about a diamond in the rough. Actually, talking about diamonds is precisely what I was about to do, but this episode, in addition to being a pseudo-follow-up to episode 41, is also a thematic partner to this month's other video. That one is going to be all about diamonds and that legendary material, adamant, so look forward to that. As for right now, it's time to reveal that secret twist I promised you. This episode isn't called Hidden Gems for nothing. I've actually hidden the names of many precious stones in this script. What do I mean by that? I've used the word ruby a lot, for example, but I made no attempt to hide that. If, however, I said scrub your hands, you could combine the last three letters of scrub with the first letter of your and get ruby. The script is teeming with these hidden gems. I'm going to put a list of the gems on screen now, so if you want to challenge yourself by seeing how many you can find without knowing what specifically they are, look away now. Alright, you can open your eyes again. If you can't find them all, I've also included timestamps at the very bottom of the video description. Sound off in the comments to let me know which ones you found, because I'm curious. Until next time, happy hunting, you digital rockhounds, and as always, have a fascinating day.